I don't know how many people really know what a production designer does, because I started my career as an art director. Today, two art directors work under me. And actually, when you talk about truth, I really wanted to know the truth behind the screen, what happens, behind the magic shows which I've seen as a kid. So that excited me. And the more I came to know, it was more interesting for me. But I never knew I wanted to become a film, be in a film industry or take up it as a serious profession, because I used to never see films. I'm not a film buff also. But only these things were interesting to me. Accidentally, I came into the film industry to help someone, and I enjoyed my work. And I could get up easily at 3 o'clock in the morning and work till 11:30 in the night. So that passion which was there, and it was my hobby, which became my profession then. So I think that helped me to really do something and contribute. So here I would like to share the truth behind the scenes which has happened and which I have done, and how we create a false world for the people to believe what is happening in the scene. So let me start off with a small video where we use miniatures also to actually, because where the shots can't be taken, we really use miniatures and create a real city-like feel and things like that. For this, actually, we need more of a craft, where the detail, eye for detail, observation, all those things. So now, after we do this, then actually in CG they extend the whole thing. In computer graphics, again, we have to give the designs for the computer graphics to be done. You can see the scale. At this level, we have to, if we have to do, then you have to really do it in a very minute, and the observation should be really good. I was really known for my miniatures in the beginning, and then they asked me to create mechanical movement things, which really helped me to be a part of the film industry. You can reduce the volume of the sound. So this is a miniature which was done by the Film Institute students in Pune, where I take classes now. They learn production designing and other. It's a 4-year course after finishing architecture or from School of Arts doing visual communication. Or mass communication students also can join, but this one was basically you need to draw very well. So this is another miniature which was created for a film to just do the titles. Now I'll show you something which I was very interested in doing, mechanical things. Like I was asked to do some cars, modified cars, for a different purpose, and the storyline was basically to it is like different characters of the cars, and that has to scare. If you can keep the volume a little bit. Here I've used a lycra cloth to do the body, which looks like metal, but and I had a full finish spray over it to give the gloss. You can see how it goes in, because when I told my director that I'll do it with cloth, he told me, how can you run a car with cloth and make a, and this car particularly could change the shape of the car, because it was all on levers which will expand, because it's a lycra material which stretches by itself. This was supposed to be like a monster car. So this one coming out like that. So all these things I really enjoyed, and still I'm enjoying doing my work, because I get challenges which I always wanted to happen in my life, and I forget to eat and brush my teeth sometimes. The only problem is that we don't find time to spend with the family, because your commitments are with the producers who pay the money. And today I enjoy it the most because they let me do what I always wanted to do, and they pay me money. I get named, I travel with another person's money, and I enjoy what I'm doing. I can't ask for more than this. I originally thought it was an accident, like the previous speaker spoke. Now I know it was not an accident. There was a purpose in it, me being here in the industry. keep the volume? When we go down the car, it's difficult to really keep the cars with us because we need such a big photo now, things like that. So now, since people have seen Baahubali, I feel that is a thing which was released and a lot of people have seen. I'll explain all these things using Baahubali's images and the work behind which has happened. You can keep the volume. I think now you know how much of work has gone behind it, because if I explain, I don't think they'll be able to understand, because I'm not a good talker. I think my work only has spoken so far. So that's what brought me here. Now I'll show you, we started with the concept art, and all these sketches are done by 25 artists for 3 months, 6 months, then continuously. Even if for a small bindi you have seen how much of, how many drawings have been done to check out which is the right one for the character. This was a very important scene, so we had to try out different tattoos, and finally when they both joined their hands together, it had to become one. So, and individually it had to look correct. So this was a hand for Nazar which I made. I'll show you the one later. It was a mechanical movement hand with prosthetics. This is the helmet which was designed. These are sketches for. This is a sketch which was done for the lifting of the statue. This is for the celebration of the first film. These are you can see the details on everything. This was not used finally. I really liked this design, but the producer and the director thought we can work without that. This was another design which was done for the Navagrahas, the chandeliers which we tried it out. This is for the palace entrance options. This is actual streets had to convert to the modern street which was already existing there. We had to convert it so to give a sketch so that they'll be able to know how it will look, and we had to really recreate that on the sun. This was another studio where we used in Film City, Hyderabad. And then we do models to study the positioning, whether the sequence can be taken quite well, and how to lay the layout and space, utilization of space. So we do a model. Miniatures are totally, which I showed in the beginning, which will be in detail. So it has to look as real as possible. You can see the swords and the. Here I use carbon fiber for the swords. so that it will be as strong as steel and it will be very lightweight. Those are the ones which, actually carbon fiber was used normally to make helicopter blades. And here I had an advantage being in the film industry to try out different materials, because material knowledge is very important. And you can see this was a model which was a working model which we made to replicate, like finally it's called a scale down model. We try out on this and then we make the whole one. You can see the real one which we made, which is at the back, which is also a working model. And when you release the sun, we use a hammer to hit it, and that worked that way. So this is another arrow machine which we were just trying it out, where it was loaded with a rope which was tied and twisted so that it acts as a sun when you release it. This is Rana's chariot which we designed, and with a blade in the front for the first part. The second part we had to make it using 3 blades. So this was the one which was finally. So now when I talk about choice of materials, so if you see the shivling, it had to look like a crystal. And I was trying out different materials. This is a roof-light resin, and actually if you see the texture which you can see inside is distillery bottles and plastic bottles which was smashed and crushed and put inside. So it's a hollow space where we just put this, in which nobody could believe that we have used scrap materials to do this. If you see it very close, you can see. That's how, here you can really see it. That's why I used this photograph where you can see a bottle inside, which is crushed, which really looked well in the film. So we need to understand the materials and really know how it's going to look finally when it comes onto the screen. So that was more important than the money and the right material. In fact, once I had used, for this film, Baahubali, we put a set of marble palace, which I used aluminum hydroxide and resin mixed together, so which gave a marble feel. And it looked very real and people are very happy about it. Yeah, this is, I made a bison where Rana fights with that, where the head can move. This was another bull which we made where a person can wear it and use it, because only for the tight shots where people can. So this is a bull head, bison head which we made using goat skin, and it is on my assistant's shoulders, which he uses to manipulate. So you can see the texture. So the close range is shot normally this way. You can see the glass eyes which we made out of acrylic. Everything had to be created, because abroad we have specialists who do these things, but here we have to do it ourselves. This is a very interesting horse which I made. Actually, it's a mechanical horse. It's on a platform. And because it's safer for the artist to fight, do action sequences, so we give them such liberty. So you can see how the horse works actually. People who have seen the film wouldn't have, because our job shouldn't be shown or seen or known. So that is, if you do it well, then see here, this is a very difficult shot which we had to take, so I had to make the shot happen. So these ideas we give the director, telling him we can shoot it this way. You can see another mechanical horse which I did for another film. And this also goes on to so this is the elephant which I did for Baahubali in the war sequence. All art directors need to do this because they call me for films which are difficult like this. So you can see the elephant which I made. That's a mechanical elephant. There are two boys sitting inside and operating it. In fact, this was just shot while I was testing it, so it was not painted well or we didn't do the greasing. This is how it looked the first test when I did. So you can see a fold where I need to do some padding inside to the hand and things like that to make it look better. I didn't direct or producer, everyone was very happy because they can save a lot of money. So this was for another film where I tied it up. This can be mounted on the person's head and it is all cable operated. I am not good in electronics or in robotics, so I always stick on to mechanical. So this is a hand which was for NASA, which I showed you earlier, where it is casted. Actually, this is director's wife's hand. I told her to keep it because the size was smaller. So I put her using arms there. And this is how it looks. The texture you can see. This is a mechanism which I made for Robo, and almost similar mechanism I have done, which can be operated with cables. See, this actually moves with the cable operation. One of my assistants is pulling like when you pull the little finger moves. So if you move middle finger moves. The thumb moves separately. See, now he's holding it. It's tied on to my assistant's shoulders, and he himself operates the cables. So NASA had to do that. Only in CG we just patched up, because most of the scenes we had a shawl lying there. One scene we deliberately showed as if it is joined to his body. So this actually, director wanted a sequence where we can cast souls. So I can show you the video first. Can anyone guess what is this material? It's like a molten. But this actually I use jam and glycerin mixed together. Carbon dioxide, solid carbon dioxide, that is dry ice powders, it will give you fumes also. So it will look weird. And in fact, there's someone, it's a backlit, it is lit from the base, and the black card has been pulled. You can notice now. Actually, it's not the liquid which is moving. It is the card which is opening out slowly, which was well timed. So this is another sequence where we used water. It's a tipper tank, and we had to create sets in different portions. For one film, I think it was Priyadarshini's film, where the whole water sequence I handled it. There was no stunt master, nobody there. I told him how to go about it, and then it worked. These are the challenges and the interesting parts. See here, if you can see, this is actually a sample test which we wanted to use it on CG for a waterfall. So this is nothing but iodized salt, table salt, which we use every day. So when you lift it, it looks like waterfall. So we create things to match, and because if I am creating with water, it is not nearly impossible. The whole area gets flooded and the scale will go wrong. So you can see a truck which is coming up. Actually, there is a truck inside. This is a train which I made. Two trucks. One is coming front and one is going back, and it's running on the road. So we don't show the road. When we want to show, then we keep the wheels 1 inch above the ground and put the rail track. So this is again for Linga, which I tried out. And you can see what I told you, where the wheels are not touching the ground. But when it is supposed to touch, when it is in the camera, we put the rail in the front. And this is normally towed by the engine or the truck which is inside. This is the scale of Rana's statue which we made, which we are trying it out. You can see the size. It had to be 120 feet height. So each face, I did it in 3D printing, and we got it only this portion for the setup. So the textures will be correct. You can see the scale. It was huge. Only the face, the rest was done in clay, and the bust alone was 35 feet, head alone was 28 feet. It was a massive work actually, which we had to. So you can see the size, scale of the people standing on top of the legs. This was more difficult than anything else, more than making it, because we had 3 cranes lifting it up, putting it in its place, and it was a major sequence. And you can see the horses, how it was made. It's all done in clay, and then we take a cast of it in fiber, and then recast in fiber. So these are small, wastage, or actually there were two soldiers which was there, which we had, the legs alone I used it when Prabhas is supposed to pass that side. So just to give an ambience, we had used this, the decoration and coloring, all these things are very important for me. And I think the best thing which has happened in my life is, without asking, people came to me to asking me to help them, and I volunteered to help, and finally I started enjoying more than anyone else. And today I think very happy to be here and share my experiences with you all. And this is the truth, where I did it to my maximum and sincerely I worked, and I really thank God for giving me this opportunity.